What's going on, guys? Welcome to Joy's channel. So today I'm going to talk about my boy Fulgrim. This video will be about tactics about Fulgrim. So we'll go through his data sheet, then we'll talk about his strength, his weakness, and at the end I'm going to tell you how I play him, basically like 3 ways of playing him. So right now I'm in retreat, like I said in a couple of my videos. We're playing tons of games, I'm testing lots of lists, and I wanted to take that time this morning just to do this video for you guys, talk about my boy. I love him. So let's go into this. So first of all, if we look at his stats, Fulgrim has speed 16, which is amazing. Toughness 11, 2 up save, 14 wounds, leadership 5+, and then OC 6. So what I like about that stats line, of course, the speed 16, amazing for a monster, a big unit like that. It's extremely rare, if not he's the only one. OC6 pretty relevant too, because you can go on the objective and not be in contest with like a 5-man unit that are OC1, so that's pretty good. 2 up save will come up too when you have cover, and sometimes you'll get shot with cover. Our Armor of Contempt, if you're playing Coterie, that's amazing with the 2 up save. The 4 up save also is a big thing. 4 up invul compared to Defiler, because I've seen online some people saying, oh, Defiler is tougher than Fulgrim. That 4 up is relevant, guys. Don't underestimate that 4 up. For range weapons, pretty mediocre. It's fine, like 12-inch, strength 8, hitting on 2, sustain minus strength 8 minus 2 damage. It's fine. But what I like about his shooting is you can poison stuff, so don't never forget about that. Poisoning stuff on the long game will be very relevant. Taking D3 mortals on, like, let's say Redemptor for the rest of the game on 4 up, it could be very annoying, could make the difference between losing a Redemptor or not. For example, all the -1 damage, all the tough stuff, if you can tag them with poison, they don't like it. If we look at his melee profile, it's fine. It's not like the most amazing melee profile you'll see in the game, but it's fine. 6 attacks for his big strike on 2s, 14 -3 d6 +1. Sustain 1, so that's a big one, a sustain 1 there. You also have 12 attacks on his sweep, a very decent sweep, strength 8 -2 damage. And then you have his little tail there with strength 6 -1 damage. I always do damage with that tail, so don't forget about it. When I first started playing Fulgrim, I was always forgetting about the tail, and then sometimes it makes the difference between killing a unit or not. So don't forget about that sneaky tail there. If we look at his ability there, he has Deadly Demise D6 that could come into play too. Many games where I was in the enemy line and then he just explode and then just like start to do tons of mortal wounds in the enemy line. So that's pretty good. It goes both ways though, so sometimes you have to be careful with your army, where they are, where he's gonna die basically. You have the poison ability, like I said, every common Fey, when he hits you in melee or shooting, you can pick one unit that he hit, and then they're poisoned for the rest of the game, even if he's dead. So if he's removed from the battlefield, this ability stays for the rest of the game. On a 4 up, you'll get D3 mortal wounds, so that's really relevant, guys. Don't sleep on that one. You have also his 3 abilities that he can pick at every enemy command phase, basically. So you have, for me, it's the only 2. I've never picked the other one. I don't know when you will pick the third one. Maybe it's going to be relevant in 11, but for now, having a leadership or you can fall back, I don't see like great value on this one. You'd rather have fight first or the one -1 to hit. So that's 2 very good aura there. So that's the only 2 that I've used in my, let's say, I'm probably at about 100 games now with Fulgrims. So this is the 2 that I'll always use. I've never even mentioned I have the third one. I've never used it. So let's go with Fulgrim Strength now. So Fulgrim strengths, we have, first of all, what I believe is the biggest strength is his extreme speed. Like I said, speed 16 with advance and charge, fallback charge. If you play him in court like I do, you can fall back and move through walls at the same time, which is pretty crazy. when you think about it. You can charge through walls, you can move through walls, so that's like so good, especially when you play a lot of WTC there. You can move through walls, so it's you can set him up and move through walls, so it's very, very good with his reduction in court to be 0 CP basically on him. Super good. He has IAP, which we don't have a lot when you don't play in court, especially. The AP3 is relevant. If you play him in court and he charge, that's AP4 on his big strike. That's really good. Like when we were in Vitrix world, that was amazing. Any meta that has a lot of like knights and stuff like that, you like that AP4 if they can't have invol in melee. It's pretty much anything's guaranteed to go through. D6+1 is okay for damage. The fight first capability and a melee matchup, it's a big problem for the melee matchup there to have fight first. They don't like it. And then you have access to poison, like I said, really good. One of the few more resilient unit that we have too. We don't have a lot of stuff that can tank a little bit. He's not like the ultimate tank, but he can take a couple guns here and there, and then he can be deceptive on how he tanks. People thinks that he's gonna die easy, and then in tournaments I win a lot of game by like using properly my stratagem and making sure that he's not gonna die. I'll explain to that while I'm talking about the three ways of playing him. He can have a solid damage potential. It's not like a sweep is decent. He has a decent strike. If you hit a couple sustain, I remember a game recently I had the advice first. Belakar charged me. I hit 3 sustains and then I just one-shot Belakar. Statistically, it shouldn't happen, but sometimes it will, and it's like, okay, well, I just killed Belakar and I took 0 damage. You never know. And then OC6, really relevant too. Like I said, you can park him on objective. That's really hard for your opponent. And then let's say he comes with a trash unit, that's OC5, you keep the objective. If he brings a strong unit, he wants to charge you, you have fight first. And then if you're staged properly, that WTC, sometimes there's your expansion, you can't even get shot, so that's like super good. If your opponent shoots you, and you play court, you can blood sergeant your opponent with fight first. So that's all the tricks you can do to make him really a pain for your opponent to deal with. Of course, he has some weaknesses. So the first one that everybody knows, large base. So it's like a massive base there. So he can be vulnerable to movement blocking. He has flies, so it's not super easy for your opponent because he has to predict like how much, how you're gonna, where you're gonna move basically, and then screen properly. So not super easy, especially in the meta where there's not a lot of horde armies right now. It's pretty good for him. When there's like lots of bodies, then it's way easier for your opponent to just screen him to not get into his backfield. But he's still gonna kill lots of stuff in the front line if you need to. With his sweep, his tail, like in weak body, when you charge, the tail is 6 attacks with strength 7 -2 damage, and then you have your sweep that's going to be strength 9 -3 2 damage. So that's going to kill a lot of body there with sustain. Like most monster, you can occasionally whiff. You're going to charge, you'll kill nothing. One game against Marine, I was in his backfield, charge a gladiator, and then I did 0 damage. It's gonna happen sometimes, so you have to play that into consideration when you use him. That you trade him, even if he doesn't kill anything, he's gonna bring something to the table. You'll see after on how I maximize my Fulgrim. He can be brought down quickly if exposed, so you have to make sure that when you expose him, it's to gain value basically. You just don't go to a spot where you score 5 and then after that he's gonna die and you didn't do anything. That's the worst way you could use Fulgrim. It needs to be a pain and it's a problem that your opponent have to deal with basically. So how do we maximize him? There's 3 ways of maximizing him. There's the delay and dismantle way that I would say. So you slow him down while eliminating key units. So what I mean by that is going to stage him behind in your backfield, super safe, where you can still threat to objective most of the time. And then from there, you just start to eliminate all the key unit that will deal with him, where there's very few at the end that your opponent will be able to deal with him. So basically, if I can give an example, recently, for example, I was playing in the mirror. He had 2 Defiler, and then he had 2 Winged Demon Prince. One was a Rapid Ingress, and then he had like the Lord Exaltant here and there, like in the mirror in Coterie. So I knew that the Defiler was a big problem for me. So I just stayed behind the wall, like where he cannot shot me. And then I just like start to eliminate the first Defiler. And then I try to position myself so the second Defiler will be very problematic for him to shoot me. And then if he does shoot me, then he's going to be very exposed to the rest of my army. And then I make sure that to have fight first. So like when he shoots me and then after that he charges me, I'll still have fight first. So it's a problem for him to deal with him, and he has to, because then when you decide to commit him, you make sure that the day after, the turn after, if he's not killing him, he's losing the game basically. So that's the way you want to play him. You don't want to commit him turn 1 if your opponent can start to damage him or start to even kill him, and then it's not a threat for your opponent while your army is staged. Then this is when you want to commit him. So that's why it's called delayed and dismantle. So you delayed Fulgrim, he's just chilling in the back waiting, still being threatening for your opponent, to make sure that if he decides to commit a big unit, Fulgrim can intervene the turn after. You don't want him to be too far back so he's not relevant, but you have to make sure that he cannot be touched for now in that strategy. So in some matchups you want to do that for sure. I would say matchups where the army is kind of like a mixed approach, where there's close combat and then some shooting as well, relevant shooting that can kill Fulgrim. You want to start removing that relevant shooting. It can also be a distraction piece. So that's the other way that I'll play him. So that's in the matchups where you know he's going to die as soon as he's out. So a good example will be Marines. Intro Marines will kill him for sure as when he's exposed. So I'll use him as a distraction piece basically. So when I decide to commit him is to go remove a key unit, and then to make sure that when he dies after, the turn after, all my armies will be staged to clap back. And then I want to make sure that the Ultramarines have to spend a lot of resource to kill him. So at least 2 units, for example. So Vindicator, and then the more unit you gain from the shooting, the better it is for you. So for a good example, you charge, you try to, when your opponents like give you a key piece that you need, for example, a Vindicator, you'll just go, advance, charge the Vindicator, go into a position where you'll still be in cover if possible, and then you know he's going to die next turn, so you keep fight first to make sure that if your opponent does not bring any gun on him, enough gun on him, he's going to survive. And then if he charges you, you still have fight first. So most people will, that I see playing Fulgrim will be like, oh, I'm going to use -1 to it, so he has no choice, like no choice to shoot me, and still it's going to be harder. But the problem is he's still going to kill you with -1 to it, because he's going to pick you as your oath. So what you want to make sure is to force him to put as many guns as possible, so the rest of your army is intact. So that's why it's a distraction piece. You still have to not ignore him. He has no choice to kill him. So you want to make sure that you use at least a Vindicator, at least like you keep your reroll for the big Executioner, because right now Marines are playing Executioner. So you keep your reroll for that. So he shoots you with the Executioner first. We all know that Executioner, there's one of the gun will never hit or wound. It's always happening, and that's the joke I do all the time. So you know you have one that will have to save. You keep your 4 up. If you fail, you reroll that. So that right there, he's like, okay, well, my first thing shot. You do, if you want, if you have enough CP, depending on the game stage. If you see that you didn't do enough gun on your, let's say you just put 1 Executioner, 1 Vindicator, you're like, okay, well, that's the only thing that can shoot me. Then I'll try that -1 to wound. If he does, like, for example, a Redemptor, an Executioner, 2 Executioner, and a Vindicator, you're like, okay, he's gonna die no matter what, so I'm not even gonna bother to do the -1 to wound against Greater. What I'll do is just try to tank 1 unit basically. So you want to tank at least 1 Executioner, for example, so he has no choice to shoot you with a Vindicator. And then just there you gain your value, guys, because there's 2 units already positioned to shoot him that did, and then the 2 others you have to try to delay the other unit to shoot into him, basically, into other stuff into your army. So if you do that, big distraction piece, make sure you set up the rest of your army ready to counter attack, ready to still gain points while he dies. He's gonna die like most game. For me, he's gonna die around turn 3, turn 4. If he's not dead turn 5, guaranteed I'm winning that game. It will happen that some games he's not gonna die at all if you play him correctly. Like for example, in my against Double Defiler, I was a little bit lucky in that one, but he survived on 2 wounds, and then he survived the whole game, and then I just won that game relatively easy because I rolled good on his save. It will happen sometimes, and then he just survives the whole time. So that was amazing. So that's the way of playing him as a distraction piece. And then the next third way that I play him will be stage and threat, basically. So this is a game, a good example, the game I played yesterday against my friend from the Votan channel, Votan versus 40K, Matthew. I played against him on WTC. We're practicing for the upcoming GT coming up. And then I had a nice pocket where I could stage Fulgrim turn 1. I was top of 1 and linchpin. On my expansion was super safe. He can't shoot me, so I just go there behind the wall, wait there. And then the turn after on turn 2, just push him right into his, we were on linchpin, so I just push him right into his backfield there, where he has no choice to deal with him. And then I was also pushing my lords and all that, tagging his land fort, tagging all the pieces that can shoot him. So he was in massive trouble. I had to back all his army there to deal with him. I still kept the fight first, so he had no choice to shoot him, and then as well charge him with berserks, charge him with terminators. They're all in his backfield now, and then from there, yes, Fulgrim died, but all his armies in his backfield. He's slow. I'm still in the middle, scoring tons of points. Yes, I'm going first. He's gonna have the bottom, but it doesn't matter because I have a crazy lead now, and then he has to come back in the game with his slow movement, try to come back in the middle now, and it's too late. I already scored all my points, and then yes, Fulgrim died, but you can't ignore him because he's in his backfield, and then we're in linchpin. So if he ignores him, he loses no matter what. So it's a lose-lose situation for him. So you can't like try to ignore him, and then Fulgrim just with his extreme speed just come back in the game the turn after basically. So he has to kill him, because like if he doesn't, I just advance again, go back in the midfield, kill whatever I need to kill, and then I just rinse and repeat. So he has no choice to deal with him. So you have to use him as a piece where your opponent has no choice to deal with him or lose the game basically. And then you have to make him, you have to make sure you have a couple CP there to make him survive a little bit longer than your opponent expected. And then if he does survive more, or your opponent does not commit enough, you win the game automatically basically. So that's the way I play my Fulgrim, and so far I have tons of success with him. And I've played many games and many tournaments. It's not in many meta too. I play like in Montreal meta, Ottawa, all over the place. I'm playing in Gatineau, like in many regions, because I know like sometimes you just play against the same guys all the time. So that's why you're like used to their play style. I like to travel all over the place and try to play against new opponents, and most people disrespect him because they'll go with, oh, it's Fulgrim, he's not good. Like I've seen on the internet that he's not good. It's just a monster, blah, blah, blah. But if you play him good, I'm telling you guys, this Fulgrim is amazing. And I just love him. Like, I mean, like so many opponents told me, oh my God, I didn't expect Fulgrim to be so good. But he is good, guys. I'm telling you, yes, he's not perfect, but he's pretty good. He brings something that EC does not have. But I have to admit that if I didn't have that move through walls, I don't think I would be. I played him a little bit before Coterie. He's not as great, but the move through walls makes him so good. Like without that, he's so-so. So that's why maybe most of the internet thinks he's average. But if you have him in court, makes all the difference in the world. If you use the wall properly, you stage him properly with all his speeds, it's extremely hard to stop him. So I hope I sold you on Fulgrim, and I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. So I'm going to continue playing tons of games for the weekend, and then the next video will probably be a detachment focus when I'm back. Not sure yet, we'll see, or another videos of just learning and sharing my experience with the Defiler. So far it's doing great, changing a lot of matchup. I love the Defiler. I don't think I'll go for 2 right now. I like keeping my Fulgrim with 1. to keep my opponent honest about they can just shove their big tank anymore because we have a defiler. But Fulgrim is still for me a piece that I really want to enjoy until 11's coming. When 11's coming, I'm not sure if he's going to be as great. We'll see. But for now, I just enjoy him, and I want to play him more for my upcoming GT coming up, and try him into one of the biggest GT. I'll go into 10th, where so far we're almost 200, so I'm really excited about that one. I'll also do this review for this GT. I'll look at all the EC players that are going, and then just go through their list and analyze their list, and we'll have fun about that GT coming up. And then also have some code for people doing the app, the 40K app AI layout. Basically, I know the guy that's working with there's somebody doing the app basically that will give me codes for the free, because now it's $8 per year. So I have some codes coming up soon too. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.